Welcome to episode number 112. I'm your host, Tamera Gaede, and this is the Closing Table with Lawyers title. I've got one question for you today. Do you have a mess? This is the episode for you. We're going to get started right after this.
Welcome to the Closing Table with host Tamera Gaede, where we break down how to be successful in real estate and what it's really like to work in the real estate business. This is the Closing Table with Lawyers title.
Welcome back to episode number 112. Again, I'm your host, Tamera Gaede. I am so excited about my guest today. I've had personal experience with him, so I can't wait to tell you what all he can do to help you. I have Charley Turo. He is the Chief Design Officer and owner of Closet Karma. And, we were kind of talking yesterday. It was, let's talk about renewing your space and so you can renew your mind. And it's a good time for that. It's January, okay? So we're starting off the new year, and we've got some really good tips and tricks for you guys today. So I want to get started with the episode and welcome Charley. Charley, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to have you on the show.
You're so welcome. Thanks for having me. I'm always so excited to be in the room with you. So,
I love that. I wish everybody would say that. But I think, some of what we're going to be talking about is January, and we need to start kind of, we're done with the holidays, and we need to make sure we're starting off the year right. And so I want to talk to you about kind of this little okay, you told me something yesterday. You start your day off in your closet, and if it's chaotic, then that's setting the stage for the day. You need something calming and neat to start off right.
It does. It sets the precedent, you want to always make your bed first thing in the morning. And then when you go into your closet, that's really what, if it's chaotic, you're trying to find an outfit and then you get flustered, and then it really sets that precedent for the day. So if your if your room or your world is organized to start, then that really will continue on through, the day, the week, the month, and really set a precedent for you.
So let's tell the audience what you do at a basic level, right?
Okay. Basic level is I'm actually a professional organizer and space designer. So I come in and I organize and set up any chaotic space for you. Hence, renew your space, renew your mind. It really kind of plays together very well in that sense. So anything that is just a mess,
anything that's a mess.
Yeah. It's like there's so much of a mess.
I feel like I had a mess. So I'm going to tell everyone how we kind of got connected. So most of social media that's connected to me knows that my dad passed away in December. And so we cleaned out his house in March, and I brought all of the things back from his house that I was going to keep. Y'all, I already had a full house, okay? So everything went in a storage unit, and I had to transition my house, meaning I had to go through my whole house and start purging stuff. And like I said, I already had a full house. So it was get rid of a whole bunch of stuff because I had to make room to implement my dad's things into my house. And so I got the front room cleaned out because I found a place for all of that furniture, and I decided that I wanted to change that room into something else. But in the meantime, it was good before I actually did the transition. That room became the collector room, meaning as things would come over or need to leave, it would stop in that room before it exited and made whatever final destination it was, we were going to with it. So it just started piling up. And I had to clean out my office. I had to completely redo my office to make room for some furniture that my dad had made. And it just, it was the office. It was, other bedrooms with furniture I needed to implement. And they're all family pieces or pieces that my dad actually made because he was, in addition to being a leather worker, he was a woodworker. And so all of those pieces were very important to me, much more so than the pieces I had gone to a store and bought. But also, if you know me, I curate things for my house. Everything has been specially curated, meaning I don't just go to rooms to go and buy a whole room set. I go and find the right pieces that I want for my house. And I enjoy that. It's just something I enjoy doing. So anyway, the garage was a mess. The front room was a mess. I just got to the point where I was just I didn't know what to do. It was too much. It was overwhelming. I was sad. I didn't want to try to do all these things by myself. And so I started reaching out to some friends to help me find a good contractor to help me with the garage. I just wanted to start with the garage, and one project at a time. Always one project at a time, girl. And so I found Robert through my connection with Beth Douglas. Thank you, Beth. By the way, if you need a referral to something, just text her and just don't even worry about posting on social media. And so anyway, I talked to Robert, who was the contractor who owns
Closetology,
and he helped install an overhead garage lift system. So I had gone to Home Depot and bought one that my handyman was going to install. But this thing was terrible. Like, I'm a single girl that lives by myself. I'm not getting on a ladder. Okay, let's just establish that
Safety
right now,
first.
because I've had too many people I know that have hurt themselves and I live alone. Okay, so I need things that can work in my house that I feel safe using and having, meaning I'm not getting on the ladder and taking tubs up to my attic. That is never going to happen, okay? And I don't want anything in my attic that I ever have to get down until I move, okay? So the overhead, I don't know if anyone has seen these, but the one at Home Depot, it required a drill to operate, meaning you hooked it to a drill and powered the drill, and the drill raised and lowered this overhead lift kit. I was like, I'm not doing that either. That's dumb, okay? I want to push a button on my phone and have this. Anyway, do you know how hard that is to find? I'm going to get to the point here. So anyway, Robert came over, he put that in, and then you also came as a partner of his, and Charley was the organizer component. I had all the parts, the cabinets, everything. I didn't have the slat walls. I didn't have those yet. You guys came in and installed the slat walls. You did the overhead lift kit system. And it does take up like half of the space in front of my garage door. When my garage door raises, and my garage is right past that. But it holds up to, I think, 450 pounds. And so I was able to store a bunch of stuff and get it off the floor in my garage. And when Charley and Emerald came, and let me tell you something, they were in the summer grunge clothes. They were in the garage. It was hot. I had fans. and they're like literally going through every nail, okay, and screw, and organizing them in little containers, and they label everything and they put it away. And it's just my garage. I wish I didn't bring a picture of my garage. I may send those to Jesse to throw in there, but my garage is legit. Okay. Like, I know where everything is. It's organized. It's easy to get down. It's safe for me to get down by myself. I push a button on my phone. The overhead storage comes down to whatever level I need it to remove the items or whatever items I need. And then I push a button and it goes back up. Everything is safe.
How are you with your ice chests?
Oh, the ice chest. Okay, let me tell you, do you have, like, if you're like me, okay, I go to the lake all the time. Everybody knows that. And I have a couple of coolers for whatever situation, meaning like 7, maybe 10, maybe 15, I don't know. And so they were all stacked up in my garage. And if of course I needed that one, the one in the middle. So and of course I'm not going to take every single one off to get to the one in the middle. I'm going to pull it out of the middle. Stuff's falling on me. That was the other thing I was tired of, was stuff falling on me. Okay. And I'm not a hoarder, so let's get that straight. Okay. But I do have a lot of stuff. And so it was just this, like I said, overwhelming thing. And one of my favorite things that Charley did is that I have this little nook in my garage that I used to stuff the Christmas tree into. And so he put shelving in there. And so all my coolers have enough space. They're all stacked up. They're all in shelves. So I need the one in the middle. Nothing falls on my head anymore. So that is amazing. And so he did the garage. And then I was like, wait a minute. I got some problems in the closets. Okay. Because I had to remove all the furniture from my front room. One of those pieces held all my candles. I didn't know where to put that. And I have a couple of candles. And then you go into the bedrooms, and in the closets, we were doing the vacuum bags, and the vacuum bags suck. They suck. What if you need a blanket out of there and you don't even know what's in there because everything's squished into this little bitty package? And so, I mean, it just was a mess. And then trying to figure out where to put everything that I needed to keep, but I wasn't necessarily using in my house. I switched things out. So I have things that just store until a holiday, for example, you know what I mean? So Charley came back and then installed an entire organizational system in 2 of my closets and my laundry room. And it's beautiful and everything's labeled, like I said. One of them we call home goods because you go in there and it's shelving and that's where all my knickknacks and stuff, blankets, decorative blankets, all of that kind of stuff. So it looks like a home goods store.
That your father made?
Yes, stuff that my father made. So all of that is in the home goods store. And then the other one is Christmas and holiday. So he installed a over-the-door gift wrapping station. So I have wrapping paper, tape, scissors, ribbon, tags, all of that stuff's on the door, easy to grab and use. And then all of my gift bags and tissue paper and ribbons and a lot of my holiday prints that you can't store in the garage and all of that stuff is in there. And I can just literally go in, pluck it out, nothing falls. That was another closet. The stuff was falling on me.
That was.
And so I would, of course I need the box that has the gift bags that's, up on the top shelf of the closet, but it's the second one. And so I'd pull that out and the top 2 would just fall on and it was a mess. But I don't have messes anymore.
You don't. And you're so proud of it too.
I'm so proud of it. Do you know how many people I FaceTime to be like, you have to look at this, okay?
Well, you told me the other day you bought some candles and you actually were able to go and put, because she needed more candles, by the way.
I was out of this one that I really like.
Anyway, she was able to go and place her candles in the bins that were actually labeled nice and neat, and she knew exactly where they were. Same with her home goods closet that we made. Those Ziploc bags are good if you are storing something
the vacuum bags.
The vacuum bags, sorry.
Yeah.
If you're storing something long term. But if you're trying to get in and out of it all the time, you're correct. It needs to be accessible. So everything that I've done, I organized and set up in a way that makes sense to me. But since you live in the home, there's always going to be some sort of, change or fluff or something that we need to do to make sure that it is how you live and how you want to be able to.
And we made some modifications on the back end. I was like, oh no, honey, you got to get some more stuff in here. Maximize the space, Charley. So it was really pretty when you got done. It's still very pretty, but there's a lot more stuff in there.
But it goes back to renew your space, renew your mind. Now that you have this all organized, you feel more comfortable, more at ease, not, you're happy to be able to go into these spaces and really utilize it and know what you have. And also the amount of money that you save when you're like, oh, I don't have tissue paper. And you're like, oh wait, no, I do. I know where it is now.
Yes.
Or, any of those things. And it also goes into my commercial projects that I do as well. So
yeah, I just think I can tell you, first of all, having you come over and help me organize all of that stuff was such a weight off of me because I was overwhelmed with all of the projects that and I didn't even know what was possible, right? And so I knew what I wanted the garage to look like in my head, but you guys were the ones that were like, okay, you need the slat wall and this is why you need the slat wall. And I even have used it for some things additionally. I had some additional slat wall put in, and I've organized all my holiday all my wreaths, January through December, and they're all organized on the wall. So I just pluck one off. It's the ease of accessing your things, okay? Right. And knowing what is in there. And it was just that front room is empty now, and it was just, and all of my dad things are in the house, organized. It looks beautiful. My office looks so beautiful. I actually have people comment all the time on, because they see it in the background with Zoom, and people that come over, they're just like, it's so beautiful in here, and all my dad's stuff is there. And so it made such a difference. Now I go into my master bedroom closet and I want to kill someone.
Don't worry, we're working on that.
Yeah, so I was like, well, okay, you did all this. Now, we need the master closet done. It's funny because one project you kind of keep going, but I cost compared too with some of my other realtor friends that have done this stuff before, and they said that your services are very reasonable, that it's not over the top. And so I think this is something that other people could implement to help relieve some of the stress in your house because it's not organized or it's not being utilized in a helpful way. I had so much unused space in all of these closets. And, that shelf, okay, and then they have the rod for your clothes. Well, I had so much space up there, and it's okay to use that space because we can put things up there that I won't need for some time,
right.
And then the stuff I need is, here, right? Eye level, which is taller, easier. I have more of that space than most people, right?
Right. Well, it's that builder grade shelving in these homes, and it's like they actually should consult with me on these types of projects so I can really maximize the space. That's what I do. I'm a spatial planner. So I can see a space and I can design to it to really maximize every single square inch of that closet, pantry, garage. Now you can actually have people walk through your home or your garage and be like, wow, there's so much space in here.
I'm really proud of what it looks like.
I love your garage and the way it turned out.
I love my garage.
And all the other spaces. It's just going to get even better.
I know. And I have a space now for when guests come over. That was something that really bothered me is not having a space in the closets for a guest to come and hang their clothes and put their suitcase in the closet and put their shoes down on the closet floor. That bothered me a lot. Right. And so I told you that was very important to me that we had at least a section. I don't have people camping out for months, okay? But at least some sort of a section for people to hang their clothes out of respect for my guests. So you made that happen too. And so now we're moving on to other projects. But I kind of wanted to tell my story about all of this because I wanted them to really understand and start thinking about what could be possible in the home. And so, you do offer these services. You are, someone that can help realtors help their clients maximize space or vision what something could look like.
Yes.
So let's talk about some of the model home things and let's give some examples of how realtors can utilize your service. I mean, you could even gift it to your buyers or sellers.
Correct.
So let's talk about that and how you partner with realtors to help their clients.
So, my goodness, so many different ways. I had a realtor friend who was having a little issue selling a spec home because, again, builder grade closet, it did not maximize any of the space. Just had one level of hanging, no long hang. Who wants to move in a home without long hang for a woman?
Where am I supposed to put my coats and dresses?
Thank you. Exactly.
By the way, my pants, because my pants are long.
Yes. So I went in and I designed and printed out CAD drawings of what the closet could potentially look like and put them on each of the walls in the closet spaces so people could actually envision what that house had to really offer. And, he was able to sell the house very quickly, actually, after that. And they were able to use my services and rebuilt the closets. I've even gone into model homes and set up some organizing bins and hangers to kind of show what that space can do for you. Pantries, when selling a home, what are the things the women look for? The closet and the pantry. The husbands look at the garage and want to know that these spaces are making sense. And if the closet's the main thing, pretty much. So,
and the builder grade closets are dumb.
They are dumb.
They're dumb.
They waste so much space.
Unless you get like a Huntington or a Shattuck luxury, home, then you'll have some of that stuff. But, your typical Highland home or Perry home, they're not gonna, and I love those builders, by the way. I love those builders. I own a Highland, and Jean Ann is amazing. Shout out Jean Ann. But it is what it is, right? Yes. So in your typical homes, non-luxury, over the top ultra luxury homes, your regular ones are just gonna have that standard shelf with the rod. And that's kind of gonna be it.
And so, if your realtor and your client has a few kids and the home is a little messier than usual, you're trying to show it, I can come in and organize it and set it up. And so it looks like you're living in the home, but not like a total mess in the home. So it gives a vision so people can see, how people are actually living in these homes. So it makes it a little
It's
bit
beyond
easier.
staging.
Yes,
It's beyond
definitely
just the
staging.
regular staging, because while you can probably, I'm sure you can help with that too, but helping people visualize what could be in a home is really important to a seller to demonstrate that for a buyer, right?
Correct.
Let's get to the closing table. And you help, I didn't know this, you help people move in and move out.
I do, because, it's like when you're trying to pack and then move, it's very stressful, especially if you have kids, if you have, obviously full-time jobs. Did you know that people actually live out of moving boxes for at least 6 months? On average, 6 months of living out of
Those are
moving
the
boxes.
same people that get home from a trip and leave their suitcase for 3 weeks.
Correct.
I don't do that.
I don't do that either, but I understand because, you have life. So,
I know about those people. I'm just
yes,
not one of them.
I know, right? So I can come in and pack up your home, make it very nice and organized, make it easy to, if you have to live out of boxes for a minute, you're able to kind of see what they're labeled nicely. You have, kitchen bowls, mixing bowls, things like that, or, children's clothing and things, it's
too much.
It's too much. And so that's, I can come in and pack it all up and then unpack it and get it set up correctly the first time.
That's incredible, because I wish I'd have known that when I moved in. I would have just written the check and been done with it. My best friend, Bessie, though, she comes over and she does the things I hate. I love that. So she'll disappear into the master bedroom closet. I mean, she comes out and her hair's disheveled and there's, all kinds of stuff. But the closet's done. Like, everything's up in there.
I've had clients who, close on their house, say, this is when I want to move, go on vacation, I get it all done.
Ooh.
And they come home to a completely unpacked house and it's all organized. Again, set up correctly the first time. And then we'll make tweaks and everything as they're living in it, but it's all done. So by the time they get back from their vacation.
Would you do that for the holiday decorations?
I can definitely do all of that.
That would make a great closing gift.
There you go.
Like, just organize, like, give them, like, here's the, it's already done.
A couple hours of organizing, and that just really helps your client. I mean, my gosh, I
already feel lighter, and I'm not even moving anywhere. So, and we also said that you could do renderings. Like, you could do renderings to help them imagine what the space would look like before they actually close on the house.
Yes.
Forward thinking spatial designs is what we talked about.
Yes, definitely. I can come up with the designs. I can show it in 3D. I can show it in 2D, and really just give that vision that not everybody really has. So, I mean, it's a helpful tip in showing what the potential of a home is.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I did write the check for. Do you know, like, measuring and cutting out and placing that dumb cabinet liner?
Yes.
I hate that job. To me, that is literally the worst job on the planet when you move into a house. I do not want to measure that stuff. I don't want to cut it out. Every time I do, it's wrong. It's just too big, and then I have to cut it again. And then it's like, I don't know what it is with me and measuring, but no. And by the way, that's just a tedious project.
Very tedious project.
I hate that project. So you can do that project too.
Yes, I can do that project.
Yes.
They actually have a new product where you can send in your measurements, and they will make custom liners for you so that it fits perfectly.
Well,
so you don't have to do all the.
hallelujah.
I know.
I know. Hallelujah.
It has saved my life a lot of times because that is such a tedious job. But when you have brand new cabinetry and you don't want to scratch it up, you want it to be beautiful. That's what we're here to do.
Okay, you guys, you need to start gifting your, or buyers. If you're talking about moving in a house, this is the way to do it. Okay. I'm already, next time, if I move, I don't want to move. Please don't. I don't want to move. But if I have to, I'm calling you. So, okay. So we can do move in, move out. We can help our buyers with some of the move in stuff. Like, they can either just disappear for a vacation, come back and it's all done. We can do the holiday in and out packing, decor, decorating. Yes. So you can come over, decorate the house, and then you come back and whisk it all away. Oh, I love that. Cause I hate coming home from a trip over New Year's.
And the last thing we do is take
and
down
the holidays
holiday.
still there.
I understand.
I come home and I'm like, oh, Christmas. this is still here. So I just want to be done. And okay, it's January, right? Yep. So anyway, amazing list of services. Now I want to talk about the ooh la la of it all because you were featured in D Magazine for a $50,000 closet project.
I was. Again, another spec home and just so much wasted space. So much wasted space.
Well, yes.
And we converted it into a beautiful masterpiece of a closet for the buyer of this home. And so it was before she bought it, we did the design and set it all up so she could see what it could actually be.
That's incredible. I read the article. Wait, the one thing I didn't look at is when was this feature? 2016. Okay. So I love that was even pre-COVID because look at the design of the closet. There's nothing outdated about that.
Nope.
It's very timeless, a very timeless look. And all of her things are neatly and wonderfully organized and showcased. And I think that is just, so what made it $50,000?
Well, the closet design itself, but also my services to organize it and set it all up. We did a beautiful, nice wood finish. We did a Carrara marble countertop. We did mirrored back panels. I'd probably say some of her beautiful jewelry. And
oh my goodness,
purses.
look at that. Look at the jewelry. You can see all of her earrings, all of her little things. It's the little things that just kind of get clumped up in the jewelry.
I can
and you
tell
forget
you
about them.
When I've been organizing, out of my many, many years of organizing clients, the amount of things that I've found for people.
You're like, oh my God, I forgot I had that.
Or they lost a $20,000 diamond bracelet.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Like they lose things. And I found cash. I have found jewelry. I have found things sentimental things for people.
Okay, let me tell you one thing right now, sir. I don't know how rich you have to be to lose a $20,000 bracelet and be okay with yourself.
No.
But I promise you, I would never lose a $20,000 bracelet and be okay with myself.
I get it. I get it. But it does happen,
It does happen.
And not even just
it just does happen.
Not even just a $20,000. It could be a $50 bracelet, but it could be something so sentimental.
Sure.
And, just by using me and my services and
well, wait a minute. This also said that the bench cushions were covered in Alexander McQueen fabric.
They were.
So there was some literal let's make sure we understand the reasoning for the $50,000 closet. I don't want to scare everyone, but also I want them to see we can go over the top here if you want to go over the top.
I can do anything from a very simple little, 4x4 closet to obviously a space like this.
Yeah, because my closets are normal people size closets, right? So
they are.
And my job was not $50,000. It was very reasonable.
It was. And, I work off of people's budgets. Like that is very important to me. I don't want to spend my clients' money unless, if it's not necessary. So I really try to pay attention to what their needs are and budgets and things like that, because there are some things that you can do. Alexander McQueen fabric or
that was incredible.
It was beautiful. But, also if somebody's wanting lighting or glass and things like that, but they have a beer budget, I really want to make sure that I reel them in and keep them on track because unnecessary spending doesn't make sense to me.
Well, and you don't go over when you budget a project or you give the proposal, that's the price. And you're really aware of sticking to that. And if there's something that needs to be done that is over what the services include, you are very upfront in having a conversation about that and making sure everyone's aware that there is going to be additional charge because but that's outside of what I quoted you, what the proposal was, because you execute, we all sign the proposal like it's a contract for the services, which I love because I'm fully aware of what I'm getting into. You're not coming to me and going, oh, I need another X amount of money.
Right. I'm not like a general contractor where I'm like, oh, this happened and I didn't realize you had an entire closet within a closet and things like that. So yes, I try to
I
be
like that
very,
you're-
very well aware and very
Yes.
upfront.
I like that a lot because nobody wants to be surprised with a bill. Okay.
Correct.
Nobody likes that. That's boo. Okay. So I'm going to talk about some of your commercial projects because you've done some cool stuff with kids and Topgolf and some of the other things. So let's talk about what you've done in classrooms and with some of your other commercial projects.
Yes, my commercial projects have really spanned the gamut from science and technology classrooms in schools. I'm working, with another school district right now on their health services, moving from one room or one building to another. Topgolf was great. Every company has all those like branded knickknacks and things like that, and they keep buying because they're losing these things. So I designed a closet for them and was able to bring everything together, get it labeled, organized, and it keeps the bottom line down. So and I've done a couple of different private schools for the headmasters and things like that, using my partner Closetology to design and build.
Robert, yeah.
Yep.
He's great.
He's great. So, it's ever expanding. So my services are not just limited to residential, but to commercial spaces as well.
Yeah. And I love that. I loved when you told me about how you helped the schools, because didn't you find a bunch of things like you ended up saving them a lot of money because you discovered a bunch of stuff they had forgotten about.
Yes, it was in, like schools have these things called FOSS boxes. Well, not anymore because they are turning away. So all these boxes full of cotton balls, balloons, rocks, you name it, just so many different things that the teachers spend their money, their own personal money on, to be able to use for science projects and things like that for the kids. And so I was able to consolidate all of this stuff. The teachers were able to utilize everything. And so they were just so thankful.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to hear that.
So I just love it.
Teachers already don't get paid what they're worth.
Correct.
And you're right. They are spending their own money to fill their classrooms. And that's really hard on a teacher's salary. So anytime you can step in and help them identify and find things and be able to save money on resources, I think that's cool.
And we've actually been able to, I've also done the Giving House, which is donated items for children who are in need in these school districts. That was a very fun one, as well as Prism Health North Texas. That was their donation closet, so people could come in and shop that are part of the program. So I designed it and organized it in a way that everybody who needed the services could come in. They could get hygiene products, they could get clothes, they could get a blanket, jackets. So like Closet Karma is all about giving back anyway, hence the karma portion of it.
Yeah.
So like my logo is the lotus flower because it grows from mud and it turns into something beautiful. So in most of my situations, I'm giving back to, different services, different programs such as Genesis and CASA.
Wait, let's not skip over that, because when you come and clear out things that people don't want anymore, they disappear and we don't have to think about them anymore, but they go to a really good place.
They do.
So let's talk about that for a second.
So they get, I love renewing your space and renewing your old items. So it's very important to me to give back, like to the community, to people, to everything. And so again, that's to go back, the lotus flower grows from mud. So just because you're in a really bad situation doesn't mean you can't be something amazing. And that is really how I take Closet Karma. And so I donate to any of the charities of my clients' choices. If they don't have one in particular, I will just donate to the ones that I normally donate to and just give back because.
But that was Genesis.
Genesis is one of my favorites, giving back to women and children.
Yes.
Always very important to me. So.
I do Grace Bridge. That's where all of my stuff goes. But, having that where the stuff isn't just going, you're not just throwing the stuff in a dumpster on your way home. This stuff is going to be repurposed and rehomed and in a place where people need resources.
Right. So say like you have your favorite pair of stilettos like Manolo Blahnik or, something that you invested in, but you just don't wear anymore. And it's going to be given back to somebody who will just love it and be so excited about it and, feel great,
yeah.
so
I love
that's
that.
just being repurposed in a good
you
way.
get the tax write-off. You're not,
There you go.
because you're not just disposing of these things.
Correct.
You do, as the owner of the items, get to write that stuff off in your taxes. So let's grow our angel wings a little bit, y'all.
I agree. Philanthropy is very important to me,
Yeah.
which I really try to bring back into my business and to my
Yes.
clients' lives themselves.
So how does someone find you?
The best way to do is closet-karma.com, and it's spelled correctly because I can't do so closet
Not
with
closet
a C.
with a K,
I
it's
know.
closet with a C.
My mother's an English professor, so she would have killed me had I done that.
I thought you were going to, I thought it was with a K, and you're like, nope, English teacher mom.
Yes. So closet-karma.com. You can find me on Instagram as well at Closet Karma Style. And all those resources reach back to me in any way that you need to, get a hold of me.
Yeah, and I hope the audience really responds to this episode, because I think making sure that our spaces are places that we can really be calm and relaxed in as opposed to stressed out, that's really, really important. Our jobs are super demanding. We go out, we work our butts off every day. And so when we come home, we actually deserve to feel relaxed in our space.
I totally agree. And like I said, you start your day off in your closet and you need that to be organized, but you end your day in your garage. So what better way to pull into a beautiful, nicely organized garage and, feel just kind of calmed and just like your
I'm
beautiful
happy
space.
every day when I pull into my garage.
Right?
I'm
you
like, I have the best garage.
get out and function. And,
Yes. It's great. I know where everything is now. So it's wonderful. I love it. So anyway, Charley, thank you so much for joining me.
Of
I
course.
appreciate that so much. I think the information was really helpful to the audience. So anyway, I reserve the right to have you back on.
Yes, please
Okay.
do. Thank you so much.
That's a wrap on episode number 112. Again, I'm your host, Tamera Gaede. If you like my content, you're really going to love my escrow team. So give me an opportunity to work with you on your title needs and make it a great day.